Hey guys, this is Coach Patrick with Shimeru Judo and Jiu Jitsu Club. Want to make another somewhat brief video here, I hope. Another question that I get quite often is, how do I stay safe and avoid injury in training? Really good question. That is where I want your mind to be. Staying healthy is the biggest thing, and if you train right, it shouldn't be a very big problem. Okay, so in the beginning, as you get integrated into the program, the initial answer is, start slow. You will only be sparring initially in very limited situations where there are fewer variables that are unknown to you and or your training partner that can lead to you getting tweaked, injured, etc. So rather than just be like, yeah, start standing, go crazy, no, there's too much stuff there that can get you messed up. So it'll put you in very limited situations that you've learned something from, and you can try to do that thing until you understand it better and can expand from there. The next thing is, when you get caught in some submission and you don't have an intelligent escape, then you need to tap. There's nothing wrong with tapping. That's what makes the sports of judo and jiu-jitsu so great. You can spar them full go all the time, and because of tapping, you don't get injured. You just start again, learn again. Tap early. The next one. Fight with control and without ego. If you're just fighting blind rage and everyone's going crazy, that's when people are getting kneed in the face or their thumbs getting rolled back and things are happening and it's all completely avoidable. Just slow down a little bit and try to have a technique-based game that you can increase speed and athleticism once you have the technique as a foundation. So slow down. Don't have an ego. Don't hold on to the submission because I'm a blue belt and this guy's a white belt, or whatever. I've been here 6 months and this guy is just in his third week. Doesn't matter. If you don't have a way out, tap early, stay healthy, and fight with control and without ego. The next one, we touched on this in a prior video, but don't try any weird BS off of YouTube and Instagram or wherever you found this stuff unless you've come in and asked, like, hey, is this insane or is this legit? People ask me that kind of stuff all the time, and I will give them my opinion. Yeah, that looks like it's going to work very well. Even if it's something I haven't really seen or used, I could be like, well, you know what? That coach is very good. If he's saying it's going to work, go ahead and try it out. But there's a lot of absolutely insane stuff out there that will either injure you or whoever your training partner is. The next one that's also quite important, if there are sparring sessions going on and you are not sparring, it's very important to have your back to the wall so that you are looking at the action. One of the ways people get injured at some gyms is they'll just be hanging out in the middle of the floor talking, arms extended, somebody falls on their arm, goes the wrong way, and you know what happens from there. Even building on that, people can knee you, kick you in the head, all that kind of stuff. So you have to be aware of your surroundings, and to the extent that you can, keep everything in front of you. So when you're not rolling and others are, back to the wall. From a standing position, not everybody is super versed in takedowns. That's okay. We can teach them to you. However, in the early going when you're trying it, you want to be able to stop right away if you get weird leg entanglements. You see this a lot, people like wrapping their legs around the back of somebody's legs or inside out. Maybe they saw it somewhere, maybe they just instinct tells them that's what they should do. Applaud you for trying it, but I don't like to see people's legs get wrapped up too much because once you're free falling with body weight, the knee gets extended, it's easy to hyperextended or worse. Same thing with ankles and things like that. So I usually say, please stick to the technique that I've taught you, because if I've shown you a technique, more than likely I've shown you where the accidental dangers are and how to avoid them. But a big one is, don't get your legs all pretzeled up when you're fighting with somebody, and if you do, just back out and start again. There is also proper foot positioning, and I'm talking about this if you are like in a kneeling position. You want to generally tuck your feet so that the shoelaces are on the mat and like your feet are kind of together. Sometimes people put their feet like out like this, okay, and it's a crazy way to sit if you ask me, but if you get your body weight going over and your foot's not able to correct, well, your ankle's gonna snap. Thankfully, we haven't had anything like that here from those positions, so it is very easily avoidable. If I walk around and I see you with your feet out, I go, hey man, tuck your feet in, and then you don't have to worry about that. Another big one of the best things you can get from a martial arts program is simply learning how to fall properly. Okay, so early on, learn how to fall. If we happen to not go over it in the first week or two that you're here, just simply ask somebody, myself or another coach, and we can easily show you what to do. Some of the big things that are the most common for injury is not protecting your head. Anytime you're going backwards, you should try to get your butt to the ground as fast as you can, but you should absolutely keep your chin to your chest and keep it there through the fall. Because what happens is people bring their head in and then they release and bam, their head goes back. It's the best way to get concussed, or at least the most common way. And it's, again, very easily avoidable with, a few sessions of practicing falling. Another big one is when people take bigger falls. Hopefully this isn't happening to people who are very new. Our members know to take care of people who are just learning the sport. But when you take bigger falls, another thing you see a lot in wrestling, for instance, is people will try to brace the fall by extending their arm. This is a terrible idea, because once your hand hits, if the energy doesn't go in the right spot, your elbow could go the wrong way. Now, again, thank God I haven't really seen that here. Primarily, I saw that in wrestling when there were big elevations. But I always try to tell people, do not extend your arm for the fall and brace it, because it is a good way to pop your arm. We will teach you the proper way to take those falls, and it's very easily avoidable. And then the last one. You get into situations where you are trying to grab somebody's legs and drive through them. I don't prefer that anybody ever goes back across their feet and across their knees. So from like a turtle situation where you're hunched up and your knees are in like this, if you get to a top position, don't pull backwards. It's too easy to injure a knee. Or if you're in the front and you're in like a double leg situation, unless you're very experienced, don't drive straight back, because the person that you're going against may have their feet in positions that are difficult to avoid having them trapped. And so then their body weight goes back over their legs, and it could injure their knees, their ankles, their feet, etc. Better if you're in that situation, better technique anyway, is to cut the corner. So if I have legs, I'm not going to drive straight into the person. I'm going to use my head and pulling the legs to drive across the body where they have no base anyway. So not only is it better technique, but it'll keep you from getting injured. So those are some of the top ways that people could get injured in a martial arts program. Again, we're blessed to not have had much of that here, because we do talk about safety quite a lot, and we, like with our kids especially, we tell them our number one rule is to stay safe. So that'll be true when you come in to train as well. We'll help you through ways to do it. If we catch you doing anything that could potentially injure you or your partner, we'll just stop you, inform you of what you need to know, and then let you keep going. So thanks a lot. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out. You can call me, email me, text me. All that information to get a hold of me is on the website shimeru.com, and happy to answer any other questions you have. Hope to see you soon.